mikwano gyange ne bannamawulire bangi era muri byonna nga celebratinga World Tourism Day. So big up. Nakulengedde jjo
okuba ku national theatre nzenge naawe
kale nze kasimanyi nakulenje Of course, it is important for the young people to embrace tourism. We have grown up, our youth, today Uganda is the youngest country in the world with 70 to 80% young people. Naye we bafukidde young, tubadde n'ekizibu ekya politics. Where abaana abo bakulidde nnyo mu bintu eby'ekiyaaye eby'obufuzi fugawano oleekaana wali ne beerabira concept esooka ey'okumanya eggwanga lyabwe. So kikulu nnyo mu nsonga ya mindset change kubanga kati one of the most important things kyetulina okukola mu bavubuka abato ye mindset change tubajje eri gye babadde babakyayisiza eggwanga lyabwe. First of all tebannaba kufuna mukisa kulitambula kulitegeera kuliraba so that bategeere value bategeere Uganda kyeki. Abantu abasinga balowooza Uganda ekoma Kampala. So kikulu nnyo tourism okwembrace abaana abato okwembracinga ekintu n'okubayigiriza n'okubayamba. So actually kikulu nti amasomero gatandikire awo okucharginga probably government etekewe etteeka nti omwana ku school fees buli term bateekako akasente ka tour so that abaana bagende batuwalinga ensi yaabwe bagitegeere. Then obwongo bugaziwe kwa kati usere bisinga obwongo bw'abaana bukomaawo Kampala jo mwalabi omwana we Kasese how she could express herself. Abaana bafa be Kampala balina okujja eno ne balaba kyekiriyo. So kikulu nnyo that young people should be taught to embrace tourism for them to get an opportunity to know exactly what Uganda is.
Good. Maybe the last one. Nakulideko nga you appreciating government bintu byekoze kulaba nti tourism kati mu Uganda ituka to this level. You clarify about that also.
Of course, tulina okwebaza government, tulina okwebaza security systems, security organizations lwansonga for tourism to flourish wetaaga security, wetaaga abantu betaaga okubeera confident nti yonna gye banaatambula tebagenda kufuna buzibu. Kati nze nkiwa nti mu bintu ebisinga okuyingiza foreign exchange is tourism. Ate Uganda tulina ebintu bingi nnyo ebintu omuntu byasobola okujja n'alambula nga bavudde bweru. Of course tukimanyi nti abatayagaliza Uganda be babadde nga bagikuba n'osanga politician abato abatategeera impact ya kuvuma ggwanga ya kulikyafuwaza ne batategeera nti ate sente zetukola mu tourism ate zetusobola okuzza nga mu healthy kwegamba. So nze gyendi njagala kwebaliza ddala President Museveni ku emphasis eyo n'okwongera okusaba nti tourism industry oba ministry ya tourism eyongera okukendeeza ku ssente ezo ez'ebisulo lodges ezo hotels eziri mu game parks so that people can afford. Otherwise kyetwagala abantu bangi kola ki kusobola okulambula then later on we want to get it when you are in this cassette.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The presidential advisor, the press, and other explorer. The Queens, the Explore Uganda team. This is the Kikorongo equator. The equator, first of all, we know that it is a line that divides divides the northern and southern North Poles. And so for Uganda, we are blessed to have such a unique monument or something that is natural that we have as Uganda. And that's what we are saying, that Uganda has resources that we are trying to exploit. And with tourism, we have a lot to do, we have a lot to give to the public. And so Ministry of Tourism, Honorable Minister, decided to start with Chikorongo Equator because we have 7 points on land that we can develop, and we are able to attract more tourists in the country. This Chikorongo Equator here in Queen Elizabeth, just across Lake George, we have another point there that we documented. Then we have another one in Chiruhura, then we have Kayabwe, we have Entebbe. And so all the 7 points, we plan to develop them in the near future. But why did we start with Chikorongo? Because one, we know that Chikorongo has numbers, the numbers that are going to Queen Elizabeth. And besides that, the point that was there, the monument that was there before, that was put in the 1960s, was ridden down by a truck. But then we decided to give the people of this side a better monument. And this monument is made of steel. And being of steel, we wanted something that we shall not do repairs every time. And so we decided to do something that we are sure that will last for generations. And so that's why we have this kind of design, which shows the map of Africa on, because it's the map of the world. So it shows how the equator is crossing the big, is that big line in the middle of that, of the equator, of that the structure, the ring. And then on top in the small, something like a circle, still we put somewhere Uganda to be very identifiable. So this shows us that Uganda is blessed. Uganda has its resources, and we are going to try, as Ministry of Tourism, sites and monuments, we are going, because we have many sites, cultural heritage sites, both natural and cultural. So this is a natural site. When we go back to our Museums and Monuments Act, Honorable, we are saying, and you clearly demonstrated, that Uganda is going to start creating or diversifying tourism products by promoting and developing culture and natural sites. So this is one of the examples that we have done, but we have experiments that are done here. We are lucky we have Uganda Wildlife Research Institute that has trained for us guides, and so we have some guides here that are taking through the visitors to do the experiments. So I will request one guide to come in to do the experiment showing the north and the south, how the equator, people around the equator, what happens. So I will request
tell us the numbers.
The numbers, Honorable Ministers, when we removed the blankets, from this monument, in 1 week they registered 3,400 tourists, and after that, from 31st to yesterday, they registered 13,500 tourists. So within 3 weeks. So this shows that if we do other sites, which is one of our strategies, we are going to attract more and more, because, and the beauty thing, Honorable Ministers, people are asking that, is this Uganda? So we need to inform them that Uganda, we are doing greater things, because they imagine that this monument cannot be in Uganda. And so Uganda, we are doing greater things. Uganda is capable of having things that you can't see anywhere in the world.
Who is asking this Uganda?
There are many, we have messages.
In terms of revenue.
Yes.
Continue. Let her pass.
Yes, Ugandans, we want to just let people, some people who are coming to the equator, they receive, especially the tourists, Like even yesterday, a Kenyan was asking where the people from Kenya asking where the person has taken the picture from, and now they are, they can easily say that this is Uganda. And so that is one way that Uganda is going to be sold outside there for everyone to know that there are beautiful things in Uganda, and then many people will come and explore. Then in terms of revenue, Honorable, we have not yet started charging as ministry, but we want to work with the local guides to see what we can get so as to have a return on investment. We have invested something, and so we think for us really for government to appreciate, we are going to see what people can be charged for them, something that is small, that can help even the guides and help government to get the return on investment. And we know with the numbers that are here, we shall be able to return the money that we have invested in a short period. Thank you, Honorable, and I request this guide to take us through the experiment.
Thank you, Madam.
To introduce yourself.
I'm humbled. My name is Dan Keita. I'm the equator instructor here. So we can start here and see what happens.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you're welcome. My name is Dan, your guide at the equator at Korongo.
Maybe create a wider surface area so that we can be able to let's extend a bit behind. Photographers can zoom. You don't need to. Let's extend it behind a bit. One more step behind.
So you're welcome once again. My name is Dan. So are you aware it's an experiment to show us the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, and the equator line. So basically we demonstrate to you a force caused by the Earth's rotation. It is called the Coriolis force. So Coriolis was a Frenchman, he's the one who discovered this. So he said objects are attached to the Earth's surface, like hurricanes, giant storms. When they are spinning in the northern hemisphere, they spin counterclockwise. But here now, the water is not attached to the Earth's surface. It spins clockwise in the northern hemisphere. Why? Because objects in the north are normally deflected to the right by the Coriolis effect. So this is not the only experiment that shows to you the Earth spins. In another one, they use a pendulum. It's named after a Frenchman. It's called the Foucault. So you release that Foucault pendulum in the north. It will also spin clockwise. You find that pendulum around serious science universities and museums around the globe, showing you the same thing. So we name the Bowel polar bears. These are ice animals. You only find them in the Arctic. And actually the word Arctic comes from a Greek word, Arctos, meaning bears. Then Antarctic means no bears. So we shall cross to the southern hemisphere and check the difference. So we have a stopover here. So right here we have preserved snakes. This is our moving museums. When some of you may ask why do we have a dead specimen? When the death is natural and when something dies, you can maintain it for educational purposes. So we have these preserved snakes in here. This liquid is formalin. It preserves dead bodies. Therefore, they cannot rot. They will stay like this. So why do we have them? We do sell blood stones. When you're hit by a snake, a scorpion, you cut on the bitten limb, you apply it. It will stick like magnet, then absorb the venom. So some people say it is a myth, but it is not. When you take poisoned food, you run to hospital. They will give you activated charcoal tablets. So charcoal is medicine. So that the science of the charcoal is adsorption. And this is the Blackstone also uses adsorption. However, this is for external use, and activated charcoal is for internal use. So we sell it 50,000. You have it in your household. You can be a doctor to anyone else. So we go to the south. Yes, you buy it. Hey, Bebe cool. Bebe cool. Yeah, somebody's, yeah, thank you. So we continue to the south.
Make sure you're beaten by one.
So now you are welcome to the land of penguins. So these penguins are also ice animals like bears. But penguins stay on the South Pole and bears on the North Pole. That's how amazing God is. They are all ice animals but stay on opposite direction. So let us see what will happen right in the south. So we stabilize the water, then let it spin. So as it spins, it will form a vortex in the middle. That circle in the middle is called the vortex. So when you put the leaf, now you see it go counter-clockwise. So that tells you cross from the north, you are now in the southern hemisphere. So the Coriolis effect applies to aeroplanes, bullets, rockets, missiles, artillery. Aeroplanes in the north veer to the right, in the south they veer to the left. It's called a jet stream. So aeroplanes never go in a straight line. Likewise, you shoot a bullet long range in the north, it sways to the right. In the south, it sways to the left. So snipers will tell you to hit your target, you need to know the hemisphere for you to get a proper trajectory. So it applies even to rockets. Most of them are launched closer to the equator. And the equator rockets go faster and straight, but far away they are deflected from the target. That's why, for example, in Europe, their launching station is in South America. The station is called French Guiana. And for Americans, they chose Florida and Texas. Those states are closer to the equator than the rest. So we go to the equator and see what will happen. Yes, equator line.
So this story I hear that it can be raining this side and this side it's not raining.
Yes, winter, summer, winter.
So rain can be here when it's here, it's not here.
So now,
Let's create a wider space so that everyone can be able to see. Why, baby? Let us push behind a bit. Let us push behind a bit. Let us push behind a bit. 2 steps behind. 2 steps behind.
So now you are welcome to the center of the world. So this equator line was first discovered in the equator. Equator is a Spanish word for equator. So that country is called Equator. So yes, Ecuador. So it was discovered 1700 years back by the Frenchmen. So after Ecuador, it goes to Colombia, then Brazil. In Africa, Sao Tome and Principe, Gabon, Congo Brazzaville, DRC Congo, Uganda, Kenya and Somalia. Asia, Maldives, Kiribati, Singapore, Indonesia and Malaysia.
What is that knife for?
It stabilizes the water.
Okay.
So the circumference of the equator is 40,077 kilometers. And when you stand here on the equinox day, noon time, you won't see your shadow. It happens 21st of March and 23rd September. So those 2 dates mark the beginning of rainy season. That's when the sun is crossing from one hemisphere to another. Still on the line, you are lighter, you are less by a kg. Why? Centrifugal forces make you lighter here. We are far away from the center of planets than the poles. So at the poles you are heavier, at the equator you are lighter. So let us see what will happen right at the center. So you notice here, the leaf goes on down the drain straight. So the reason it does not spin is the same reason cyclones, tornadoes, hurricanes never cross the equator. They are deflected to the right, to the left. A bulge is created in the middle. That bulge at high school, we call it the intertropical convergence zone. It's where winds from the north and the south, when they reach the equator, they come down. So for that reason, you should all thank God you are born in the Pearl of Africa. No tornadoes, no hurricanes, no cyclones in your motherland.
Hallelujah!
Actually, she's my teacher. She taught me at Uganda Wildlife Training
Research and Training Institute, which is an agency of the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Activities.
Yes,
She's
yes.
my student.
She's a proud teacher. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Any questions, please wait for the question. Have the students understood? Questions.
Always welcome questions.
Any question is welcome.
When there is no question, you either have taught so well
Oh,
Also,
so badly that you didn't understand anything.
the first one.
You said on that line we are less back.
yes.
Is it only when you step there or
You went on the line, you are lighter. So at the
does
poles,
make it
lighter?
at the poles you are
lighter,
heavier
my dear.
because you are near the center
So
of
this
the planet.
here I'm heavy.
So you come reducing up to the center.
Here, when you are in this side, you are big size.
But when you go away,
The other
you
side,
are normal.
small size.
So the only big size.
Yeah, this side is for big size. The other is for smaller one. Now can
Exactly in the line.
Yes, on the line.
So there you've lost the
You are less, yeah. I don't lose it, I just weigh lighter, yeah.
You were
so
less.
big size, you have to be this side.
No, you be there.
No,
You're the bear.
yeah.
I am
So
the
the
thing.
big side is that
I'm the
side.
penguin.
The big way.
You're welcome.
He's asking next.
She's in charge.
And so even you can see we have
Skakomas.
what we made them in a way that they can when to get off, they can and so opposite, we put another monument that for those ones who cannot be able to cross, they are able to see something.
I have a question. Given that, my name is Akidi Rachel, Mistress in Karamoja and second one as a Mistress in Uganda, as well as a multimedia queen. This place is really wonderful, but I've noticed that we do not have restrooms.
Yeah.
So in case one of us wants to use themselves, where do they go?
Shall answer that question later. Construction continues. Okay. Construction continues. So we shall have another better question.
Since this is one of the best things that we're doing, is the purpose financial directly, or would it be mindset change? For example, you spoke about charging, and you know how our people would claim not having money. So indirectly, is it possible that you would leave it in a free access so that it can encourage the young and those who can't afford to be able to come and appreciate, and then indirectly they get the knowledge, and when they get the knowledge they get to appreciate, and when they appreciate they probably, you get the payment, because then it means you have not sent them to school. Because what we face mostly, public thinks it's so expensive to do tour. And every other point when you get to a different area and you have to pay for something, most especially Ugandans, they back off.
I think I would say one, mindset change. Ugandans we have seen a trajectory in Ugandans since, for example, COVID. We have seen Ugandans who have been flying out and not minding about their country, but they have started appreciating their heritage. And so when we have more products, because before our products were mainly wildlife, and so you find that, now we are trying to diversify and creating more products. And so we do not plan to charge the charges that will repel, will take away the tourists, will prohibit. We want to do just a coin also for responsibility, because you want to maintain this place clean. You want to have the guides also benefit, and so you cannot do it without a small coin. And even for the Ugandans to love their heritage, to be responsible for what they are also enjoying. Yeah.
So, thank you.